to YouTube and myself at the same time. I don't know if that's going to work. I've got no idea if it's going to work. But either way, we'll kind of goof about. What was the anticlimax? There was an anticlimax? Oh, was everyone shaming Hughes? I don't think Hughes actually said son of a taint. I mean, he might have thought son of a taint, but he didn't actually. He didn't say. Oh, Mousy seems to like the phrase son of a taint as well. Amazing. It isn't my phrase. It's handsome Jack on Borderlands 2, which is one of those issues where, and this isn't actually an issue. You know, I'm not going to like talk about a difficult political issue here, but more like just kind of like a feature. What happens on games where the antagonist is more entertaining than the protagonist? Is that right? Did I get my antagonist? Did I get my antagonist around the right way? Which is the one that's like the good guy, which is the one that's the like that causes the problems? Antagonist is the bad guy, isn't it? Antagonist, broadcast antagonist, or protagonist? I'm just saying words. But there's a few games, I can't see myself in stereo. How are you guys seeing me on YouTube? Because maybe I just need to refresh I could refresh the page and show it. I don't know. There you go. Andy gives about live now. Okay, I'll try it. Myself in stereo. Oh, there's me twice. I'll mute it. Oh, that is me, and that is me. Which one's quicker? Which one's ahead? Oh, should we go crazy with the Addy stereo? We should go crazy with the Addy stereo because it's always fun to go crazy Addy. If I put if I put my desktop behind me? There's you guys. There's the on-screen chat. We haven't seen the on-screen chat for a while because I've been playing Skyrim. Skyrim is cool. I've got loads of things I want to do in Skyrim. So many things. Is there anything on there I can't show you? No, probably not because I've hidden the thing. Okay. So there's the thing. There's the Twitch. Oh, it just turned off. Then it just turned on. So that's the YouTube one. That's the YouTube one. This is the Twitch one. So they're all, which is ahead or behind? I can't tell which one's behind. Oh, Hughes says that YouTube is ahead of Twitch. What? The YouTube encoder is quicker than the Twitch encoder? Oh my goodness. That's some serious controversial stuff you're putting out right there. Okay, so apparently pro is good and antagonist is bad. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I was right, and then I confused myself by talking about that kind of stuff. Cool. So are we simultaneously on YouTube and Twitch at the same time? Clara, I'm simultaneously on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Clara's very impressed. I can hear the enthusiasm in her voice. Well, this is quite cool then. So this means we can do it as long as it isn't. Is it still all the same quality? Proper quality. Well, same quality. The same professional standards you've come to expect from an adipose TV stream. I mean, that's what we're concerned with. Here, voice and stuff. Yeah. So what happens on games? When you've got a more interesting antagonist than a protagonist, and you get it sometimes on Borderlands 2. Handsome Jack is definitely more interesting than all of the other four characters. The four characters are cool. Don't get me wrong. The four characters are pretty funky. But Handsome Jack is funnier. And Far Cry 3, that's another offender, where the bad guy's more interesting than the good guy, because you've got that guy that's kind of like, let me tell you all about insanity. Insanity is doing exactly the same thing twice and expecting to get a different result. And then later comes back and he's like, let me tell you about insanity. He's good. And then you've got, other games have got more interesting bad guys than good guys. There must be loads. That Call of Duty with Kevin Spacey in it. Disney movies often do it as well. Jafar is a lot more interesting than Aladdin, let's be honest. If you were playing if you were playing Disney's and someone said, do you want to be Aladdin or do you want to be Jafar? It's plainly Jafar. Not Genie. Genie's cool, but Jafar over Aladdin. Ursula over the Little Mermaid? Controversial. But maybe. Giant octopus, 8 legs, bit of a weight problem, but, we can all sympathise with that. Cruella de Vil over Tonto? Tonto? Ponto? Poto. Tonto. What's the name of the Dalmatian? I'm not sure what the name of the Dalmatian is. Something. Hey, Upcoded. Yeah, I'm only staying on for like 20 minutes or so. This is just an experiment to make sure that the double streaming works. So what I'm just going to do, because what I'm planning on doing is for Doctor Who Legacy, I'd quite like to stream to both at the same time, because then increases the possibility of the audience and things. There's a YouTube chat. Maybe I should say something. Hello, YouTube chat. I don't know how that works with like looking at the users and things. I can add a moderator. Maybe I should add you guys as moderators in both places. But also the racing game, Flat Out, have also, if and when that starts happening, they were thinking about getting us to kind of do it both in YouTube and on Twitch as well, which would be cool. It's a little bit like, putting your eggs in every basket. Putting your eggs in every basket, is that a phrase, or am I just making up phrases? I could just make up phrases. I can't make up phrases. Captain Hook over Piggy Bank, King Pig over Angry Birds, difficult. Pongo, not Ponto. Ponto, isn't Ponto the guy from the Lone Ranger? No, that's Tonto? Toto. No, that's the dog from The Wizard of Oz. These programs needed to name their characters more differently. Now, let's see if we can play something. Let's see what happens if I start playing a game and see what that does to the thing gummy with what's it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was gonna have a little bash. Can I use the word bash? I might use the bash. I'm not sure. At the other day at my the old Japanese wrestling game, because I was talking about it on Spud Addy. There wasn't a Spud Addy on Tuesday. We recorded it on Sunday, but it was released on YouTube. So if you want to see this week's Spud Addy, it's on YouTube, it's on Audio Boom, it's on iTunes. Go and help yourself. I was ill, and it was Spud's birthday, so it was a wonderful combination of me going, life, don't talk to me about life, and him going, yeah, birthday. So it was fun. We actually abandoned the usual format, and I do like the usual format, but we actually just abandoned it and just chatted for an hour, which is cool. So you get to sneak in to our I don't know. It wasn't a really private conversation, but if you enjoy Spud Addy, do go and check it out. It's up on YouTube and up on the iPad, and as always, do go and check it out. Where on earth is my copy of? Somewhere on here, on my big, far too full computer, I've got the PlayStation emulator. What's the PlayStation emulator called? I can't remember what the PlayStation emulator's called, but I've definitely got it on here somewhere. This isn't like maybe I should abandon trying to play a game. Maybe this isn't going to go well. What's the PlayStation called? It's called Project X or something. Project? Maybe it's in the Project. Project X? No, PX. PS. PC SX. PXS. See, basically, there's, I'm sure most of you know what emulators are, but an emulator is when you make a computer pretend to be something else, and you can get quite a lot of hello. Cool. Do I want? Yes, chocolate. Maybe yes. Yeah, chocolate. We'll get chocolate. An emulator is when you make a computer or something else pretend to be something else, and there's some sneaky, secret emulators on iPads, but they always get taken off by Apple. And then there's like allowed ones on Android, but it basically makes one device pretend to be another. So you can get like a Game Boy emulator on a computer, or which means you can play old Game Boy games on your computer, or you can play like Nintendo DS games. Although those emulators haven't worked particularly well. Actually, they probably do now. The last time I used a Nintendo emulator was ages ago. N64 emulator. I remember I was so excited when I discovered my first N64 emulator. I was like, oh my God, I can replay the games of my youth. And then I was like, why should I? Because I actually have a real N64 up in the loft. Actually, not this loft. Back where my mum lives. Emulators are very cool though, because it means you can relive. When you don't have those consoles anymore, you can relive the games that you once had, which is very cool. And I mean very cool. Because there's something about, old games, that get you, because of the memories, the memories of the games of your youth. They get like a special place in your mind and in your and they'll probably be crap by modern standards, but you still look back, and we're talking about this on Spud Addy, you still look back and go, man, I remember what I used to love. Double Dragon 2. Yeah? Double Dragon 2. That was an exciting game. And it's probably terrible now, and I'm not even sure I would want to play it again now, but I still remember, sitting with a mate of mine, a guy called Kenan, still friends on Facebook, a guy called Kenan. We'd sit there, little NES pad. Do you remember the little NES pad? It's awful little thing. It was basically a square with just a little D-pad, A and B, start in the middle. Not even sure there was a select button. And you the controls, it was just punch, kick, jump, and jump and kick. And I think that was it. And then if you could punch someone, I think you could walk in and kind of grab them and stuff. Oh man, I loved it. Double Dragon, it was cool. And we always used, this is such an this deserves like an angry game nerd rant or something like that. The bit that used to get me didn't used to be fighting the big bosses, although they were tough because computer games were tougher back in those days. It was the jumping. It was the jumping because in Double Dragon, I think it was Double Dragon 2. I think it was Double Dragon 2 that was the main one. You couldn't do small jump, big jump, medium-sized jump, running jump, or whatever. There was just jump and forward jump. That was it. And the forward jump was always exactly the same length. Okay, so it was always from there to there. It was always that length. And then for some reason, the game's designers decided later in the game's designer decided later in the game, I know what we'll do in this combat game is we'll make it, rather than just having like a beat 'em up in this beat 'em up, we'll put in like a little platforming section. So they put in this bit. It's so absurd. I remember it was infuriating at the time, and it's even more absurd now. Is they had this bit where you had one side of a river, and then you had a gap, and then you had a platform, and then you had a gap, and then you had the rest of the world. So so this side, little platform in the middle, very little platform in the middle, gap, and then the rest of the world. But the thing was, is that you couldn't. Apparently, you can mess with the stream speed on YouTube. Really, you can mess with the stream speed? How'd you do that? Where's stream speed? I can't mess with it. Is that on channel settings? No, it's not on channel settings. Where's stream speed? I want to mess with my own stream speed. Oh. And you killed my story. Where's the live? I've now just lost the live bit. I've lost my live. Am I still broadcasting live? I might not. I've lost the live. Am I still broadcasting YouTube? Probably. Who knows? No, seriously, how do I get back to the live bit on YouTube? I need to learn how to do that. That's probably quite important. Yeah, I think I cocked that up. Who knows? Where did you mess with? I don't see the option to mess with the stream speed, but tell me, was it in settings? Oh yeah, speed, normal, quality, cool, annotations. I should add on an annotation saying something. Anyway, I was telling a very exciting Double Dragon story. Let me demonstrate using lolly sticks. Okay, so platform, with another little platform in the middle. This is going to look stupid. Okay, here's the platform in the middle. But the thing was, is that the platform in the middle, that's disgusting. The platform in the middle was nearer than the full jump distance to the platform next to it. So if you walked all the way to the edge, bear in mind, this is a beat 'em up game. Okay, this isn't Mario or like Sonic or, a very complicated platform game. This is a beat 'em up. If you walked right to the edge here, so you're like Double Dragon character, you get all the way here, and you did your running jump to get over the gap, fine. You just jumped straight over the platform. You just went, splosh. You just went, just straight over it, in a beat 'em up. And so because you couldn't vary the jump distance, you couldn't midair kind of go whoa, that jump's going too far, I better pull back a little bit because it's before those days of that. You just jumped straight over it. You just died. So you had to kind of like experiment to work out where on earth you had to jump from, because this freaking platform thing was so small. You had to like work out where exactly you had to jump from to make sure that you landed on this platform. And the thing is, because it was an old game as well, we're not talking like infinite saves. We're not talking like, oh, never mind, just start infinitely from where you came before. You had like 3 lives. So the first time you did this, you were like, yeah, I beat that really hard boss, and I beat that really hard boss, and the different colored boss that was blatantly the same but was wearing green instead of blue. And then I beat that thing, and I beat that thing, and I got the big pipe, and I'm cool. Oh, cool, here's a little jump, splosh. instant death, instant death. I mean, you can beat the guy with the knife, you can beat the guy with the gun, you can smash the crap out of so many things, but a little bit of water, whoa, instant death, you know, splosh. And then you'd lose, you know, 2 lives gone, and that was it. And the whole thing was over. Then you had to start the whole game again. You'd start the whole game again and come back to this bit and be like, right, I'll just try to turn back. Then it got worse. Because you landed on this tiny little platform in the middle. And do you remember how I said there was like standing jump and then there was like moving jump? But the problem is this platform is so small, you can't move before you jump. So what you had to do is you had to move and jump at exactly the same time on this little crappy little NES pad. But this game was great. I loved this game. This is just like remembering the irritations of my youth. So you had to, at exactly the same time, you press left on the D-pad and the jump button and do it at exactly the same time, and then you would go bonk. But if you pressed jump slightly too soon, you would go and come straight back down. Not helpful. If you pressed the direction slightly too soon, what do you think you did? That's right. You just walked off. Splosh. Instant death. Remember, only 3 lives. Splosh. And you would die. To make it even more tricky, you know what the jump button was? The jump button was both of the red buttons together, because there was only 2 buttons on the NES. And I think one button was punch and one button was kick. Probably. Something like that. And jump was both buttons together. So you had to press left and the red button and the other red button all at the same time. It had to be a big like, and if you pressed just one of those red buttons, splosh. If you pressed the other red button, splosh. If you pressed just the jump before the other thing, then if you pressed just the direction first, splosh. You had to be all 3 together to land onto the other side, to face the ridiculously powerful other guys with swords and spears and whatever it was, which was the easy bit. And then it got worse. Then they had, I can't remember how many level it was in, but if you've played Double Dragon, you know what I'm talking about. They decided that what you then really needed was like a big steam train. It can only be described as a steam train, which just kind of trundled onto the level from the side. And the steam train had like 4 or 5 different levels, and on each level, of course, there was an enemy that you had to kind of beat, or maybe 2 or 3 enemies, yada 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 yada. And if you and then all the way across this train, there were gaps everywhere. So you just had to jump across these gaps all the time. So all the way through, you're like, please don't miss, please don't miss, please don't miss, please don't miss. Because if you fell down a level, rather than just landing on the level below and being kind of like, I'm fine, you died. Instead of splosh, I don't know what the equivalent is for landing in a big pile of steamy metal. You know, probably like a kind of like, but you died. And then the other thing was, because this was a NES game, and SNES games, and we talked about this a little bit in Spudaddy, is that the if something went off the screen, it didn't exist anymore. Do you remember games like that? The world only exists if it's actually physically on the screen. You know, like those Sonic. You remember those like Sonic levels where you couldn't, and Mario levels where you couldn't go back. Do you remember those ones? You know, you'd walk past something and then you'd be like, I can't go back. It's off the screen. It's gone. It's gone forever. And this steam train thing in Double Dragon was exactly the same, because it kind of trundled forward and then it kind of trundled back. And if it trundled off the screen, it was gone. You know, you couldn't stay on it. You know, it's off the screen, man. Death. You know, instant death. You had to constantly run away from the edge of the screen because, the edge of the screen is the fabric of reality itself. They should make a Doctor Who. They should have some sort of like Doctor Who, Pixel Who crossover that uses that mechanic of like that uses that like mechanic of like going off the screen, man, is outside the nature of the fabric of time and reality. Like you know, like the crack in time, you know, that kind of idea. There would be like some sort of like reason why going off the edge of the screen destroys everything. I love that idea, because it would work on Pixel Who. If you don't know what Pixel Who is, Google it. It's basically like all of the Doctor Who characters ever made in like a format which is pixely, SNES style. So it would work perfectly. The idea of Doctor Who being in this pixel world and then having to deal with the problems of being a pixel person. Oh my God, it's off the edge of the screen. No, Rory, not Rory. Why is it always Rory? He's fallen off the edge of the screen. Amy, how do you feel? About what? Oh my God, her memory's gone again. I don't know, something like that. Right. Okay, well, this was an experiment of goofing about on seeing if I can stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So if you're watching on YouTube and it all looks good and you can see me and it all is streaming fine, then give me a huzzah. And if you're watching on Twitch and you can see me and it's still decent quality and all that kind of stuff, then give me a huzzah and I can see both chats. And if I can see huzzahs on all sides, then I'm going to go bumting, play a stupid song, and then go and watch the Great British Bake Off, because I've reached that stage in life where the Great British Bake Off is very important. And then I might be back later, although I'm getting old, so I'll have to see. But if not, I'll definitely be back tomorrow for Legacy. And if this has been a successful experiment, then I'll try and stream Legacy on both, which should be pretty cool. Good. I can see the YouTube people are huzzaring as we speak, and the Twitchers are huzzaring as well. In fact, some people are so excited about it, they're huzzaring on both. Rose says she likes the Twitches better. It might be, I think there's settings on both where you can watch in different quality. So you can probably push the quality up and down, but I don't know if that'll make a difference. Anyway, awesome. Thank you everyone, whichever form you're watching. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for making this a successful little experiment. I have been looking at some awesome Skyrim mods that I want to use. I have been looking at some. We've got loads of Doctor Who Legacy levels we want to fix and we want to sort out. I've been composing some new silly songs. Got loads of cool stuff for you. But just in general, thank you for being here and supporting the channel and having fun. If you're, yeah, that's it. I'm not going to stretch it out for longer than that. You have been fantastic, my friends. Here is the usual little sign off, because whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Twitch, you know what you got to do. Follow, 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 ADTV. Subscribe, subscribe, ADTV. Thank you for watching the show. We hope you come back for another go. And if you want to make sure you're the first to know, you gotta follow, just follow, just follow, you need to subscribe, and come and watch me.